which has been just as big as the draft. You know, Chris Paul in a new spot, Dennis Schroeder in a new spot. You have other guys that have been making moves. A lot of talk about James Harden, although he's not a free agent. A lot of trade talks about the Rockets blowing it up. A lot of possible trade talks about Philly making moves. Al Horford was just moved. Danny Green was moved. There's movements all over the place. Kelly Oubre and a whole bunch of other picks.
That's a major move that we thought.
Not yet. Not yet.
Horford was moved.
That's it. Not yet.
Setup moves? On your chest right now?
I think the league is playing chess for James Harden. Not even the league. The two teams playing chess for James Harden, and the rest of the league that has any stake in these free agents when it comes to big stake is going to wait it out and see what happens with either A, Ben Simmons, and whatever happens with Philly this year, and B, or maybe B, Ben Simmons, and A, what happens out in Milwaukee. Even though Drew Holiday was also a big part of this free agency trade.
Too.
So what happens in Milwaukee? If Milwaukee's not good or Milwaukee's not great, and the problem is they're always great in the regular season. If that doesn't materialize to anything, then we'll be having the same conversation next year at a way bigger scale because Giannis is not only younger, but he's bigger. He has more effect on the basketball game as a whole than James Harden does.
Man, go ahead, John.
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot going on. I think there's definitely a lot of chess moves going on. Sixers definitely shift Horford out the cliffs and cap room for a big target. Might be Harden, might not. But I definitely see some moves being shaken. We know Daryl Morey. We know who he is, and we know that he wants to make trades, and we know that he's a big splash guy. It's not far fetched to think that right now Philly is seeing their championship window closing. They're seeing it before their eyes, and now they're like, let's strike gold while we can. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a big move for James Harden. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not like they said that they don't want to move Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons is offered on the table, if they ask for Ben Simmons for James Harden, I can see that trade happening and going through.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't see how you move, how you attract James Harden to any team without moving one of the big players.
You got to.
Maybe the Nets because they have so many pieces that they can give up. They also just added Landry Shamet during this draft, so that gives them another. To me, that's 6 legitimate trade value pieces.
Yeah.
High trade value, 3 stars or more on 2K. So I think that the Nets, other than the Nets though, there is no move to be made for James Harden without trading your franchise piece for that franchise piece. And the biggest thing, and I've been listening to a lot of guys talk about this, the biggest thing is, can James Harden go somewhere and actually play NBA basketball again, or has he been
NBA basketball again
to the James Harden show?
That's funny.
And if it's the James Harden show, it won't work with another star. It won't work regardless. You know, we saw it not work with Russ. We saw it not get to the mountaintop with Chris Paul. So
I think when you talk about the move, when James Harden declined his $50 million option with Houston, he is saying that he is willing to sacrifice that game for championships. That's what it says to me.
See, I
don't need to be the man
and I'm
anymore.
so glad I got to get some more insight on this because I think that he pulled a Kyrie, and to the naked eye, it looks like, oh, I want to win more than anything. Or in Kyrie's situation where he still had 2 more years on his deal in Cleveland before he said that I want to trade. I'm not going to opt into 2 years from now. James Harden is not talking about, I'm opting out of 50 mil next year or in 2021 or 2020. He's talking about the future, 2 more years from now, in which they try to, lock him in for as long as they possibly can, a franchise player. James Harden is trying to set the table now that I want to move. I'm still gonna make the money. I'm James Harden. I'm still gonna make the money. 50 million sounds great to everybody right now. 2 years from now, there'll be Ja Morant's and Ben Simmons's making that type of money on their first true contract.
But really, you think that's gonna happen? Especially like I say that it might not happen because of the way the pandemic is hitting and how the NBA is losing money right now. Everybody's not getting those contracts is going to be far and few between, bro.
I am
So with that
willing
being,
to
if you're taking that in consideration, bro, and you're saying that I am willing to sacrifice this money that is guaranteed with this team, regardless of the situation,
if I
bro,
stay for 5 years.
right, that's what I'm saying. So
You're
he
locking
said,
me in for another 4 years.
I don't want to.
to.
I'm good off Houston. I'm good off being my own man. I need to be playing under number one. He needs to be playing under a system what works best for him. And I feel like he's like this hasn't been working for me.
Or do you think that he's on the tea leaves?
System for you.
Or do you think he's on the tea leaves and say Houston's window is closed?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, and that too, and Houston window is closed.
I don't think it was.
I think it's more of a Houston window is closed than I'm willing to sacrifice my game. I think he's like put me somewhere else with people that can play and I can still win us a championship. That's what I think.
And here's my argument to that. I would go as far as to say, like, yo, I think he's feeling the same heat that KD felt, the same heat that LeBron felt, the same heat that Carmelo Anthony felt. Some guys got it, some guys didn't. Some guys made moves, some guys didn't. This is the championship heat.
So you're telling me that he's going to join a super team?
I think that he is pushing to go to Brooklyn because those two guys had chips on their shoulders, got what they wanted, and now he wants to be a part of it. Absolutely. I think that. Are you telling me that if he joined Kyrie and KD, that did not create a super team?
No, I'm just asking him.
I'm asking you, is that...
No, that's absolutely
that's
super
absolutely
team.
a super team.
110%.
And he's pushing to only go to Brooklyn, right?
No,
that's his favorite Philly.
He wants to go to Brooklyn
or Philly, which to me can potentially build another super. But I would respect it. I would respect it as Philly now. If they kept him, Ben Simmons, and James, for the fact that neither one of them have won yet, in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, I would respect it a little bit more. Brooklyn, it seems like it's a forced way, and you know, as a Russell Westbrook fan, of course, there's a little bit of ill taste in my mouth doing something like that because it seems like you're running to the runner. You know, of course, you were traded inconceivably when he was traded from OKC, but you know, when KD left and ran to the championship, now it kind of seems like he met up with KD in Los Angeles and they had this talk, and then you know Kyrie chimes in like, yo, bro, you can say whatever you want. If you want out, you want out. If you want to force the trade, they're more likely to trade you that way.
It's the player empowerment.
It's the player empowerment movement, and Kyrie as Mr. Player Empowerment himself. Granted, he has this humanity side to him that we love, and this this selflessness that he does. And I don't ever want that to get lost. And when I talk about Kyrie, how great of a person he is outside of basketball, but inside of basketball, he's definitely bipolar and and very emotional. And I'm afraid that still wouldn't work out. To be 100% honest with you, I think we're looking at 1, 2, and now 3 very explosive, expressive players. And if it comes to championships, it'll work. If it don't, you see the same things that happened with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, the same things that happened with Kyrie Irving and LeBron James, the same thing that happened with KD and Draymond, the same things that happened with Russell Westbrook and KD. I'm talking examples of the people that we're talking about right now. So
I'm not a fan of James Harden going to Brooklyn. I think that sometimes there's a thing called too much firepower and too much personality, and that mix for me, I don't think it's a good mix for them.
I'm gonna say
especially
this.
with a rookie head coach.
I feel like they're all at points in their careers, which you just said kind of hit them. It resonated with me. They want to win championships. I think if they go over there, all 3 of them will be willing to sacrifice whatever it took to win a championship. Whether it's not saying James Harden will come off the bench, but whether it's I'm taking 12 shots as opposed to 25, but we win in 60, 70 games.
And we've seen games where James Harden has taken 12 shots while in Houston, while being that guy that could do it. We've seen it. But can we see it 50 out of 82 games? Because James Harden's going to play more games than both of those two. I promise you that.
I think
and
of that.
He's way more durable than
I
both
think
of
of
those
that,
guys.
and then what reminds me of this is Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen all going to Boston together, and they were all at similar points in their careers. Granted, none of those 3 that I just said won championships as opposed to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but they're all at the
one of them was an MVP.
They're all at the point in their career where winning is the apex. They don't care about the individual stats anymore. So I could see in a weird way, working out, bro. In a weird
I
way.
mean, it's a super team. It should work out, but can you see it winning a championship? I
Yeah,
cannot believe that we continue to go up and up and up and up and up the ladder. They're almost reminding me of the goddamn New York Yankees, where they just need every single body. First we have Karis LeVert, who's dropped 50. Now we can trade Karis and we can get Bradley Beal. Oh, you know, we don't need Bradley Beal. No, we need James Harden. You know, we don't need James Harden. We need Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know, we don't need Giannis. We need LeBron. You know, we don't need LeBron. We need Jordan to come down and dust off his like Mike's and give Mike secret stuff. Oh no, we don't need him. We need to go pray and go grab Kobe from heaven. What does Brooklyn need to win a championship? Because I swear if they do not win a championship, I am never going to let them breathe, bro. Period.
Are you sure you're a Brooklynite?
I am a Brooklynite.
I
I told you earlier, if you're from Brooklyn, the real New York team is the Knicks. Nets are from Jersey.
You need to crush your back on
Nets is
here,
from Jersey.
man. There's too much net slander going on.
No net slander. It's just a lot of net expectation. This is the same expectation that we got when LeBron and D Wade
Yep.
and Chris Bosh went to Miami. What else do they need? Oh, now they don't have a big man.
Mhm.
Joel Anthony
Same
isn't
thing.
a big man. Oh, now they got Jermaine O'Neal. Oh, now they got Chris Anthony, Birdman. Yeah, we add all these pieces, bro. You're three of the best, easily 20 players in the league. Let's say 20. I would argue that two of those guys are in the top 5, just like D Wade and LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that James Harden and KD, healthy KD, is in the top 5 in the league. What the hell else do you need? What the hell else do you need? You have one of the deepest rosters in basketball right now. You have someone on the team that's not even trash, but trash compared to those 3 guys who has 50-point games. Kidding me? I don't want to hear it. All right, we're gonna move on from this because I'm getting hot. Rob's birthday is today. we ran over time, but damn, I don't want to let the show go now. Which I want to talk about. Which I want to say before we take our leave of absence.
I want to say, shout out to all the fans out there. We will be back by the NBA season. And go Falcons. No, go Steelers. Sorry.
You go ahead. Listen, man. Thankful and appreciative that we finished this episode and this season 2. Thankful all the fans for staying with us. And I'm really looking for the Giants making the playoffs. This guy Obi Toppin. Mikey Westbrook. Yo, New York sports is looking back up. Finally, we looking like we finally get a bright spot. Let's keep this energy going. Keep this same energy, man. Let's go.
Man, I'm always thankful working with you guys. Like I said before, it's something that we've always dreamed of doing. Now that we're in the game, it's always fun to do it. I want to correct John a little bit. Season 2 is not over. We're taking a small mid-season break.
Sorry,
to,
mid-season break.
Evaluate some of the things that are going on from a business perspective and also from a podcasting perspective. But we will be back. Yeah, I'm thankful for just like I said, man. Working with you guys is a blessing. I enjoy it. I look forward to this every week, and we'll see y'all in a couple more weeks, man. Real holidays.
Peace.
You roll the credits.
You're not winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that video a lot.